Hello my dear friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Myself I am Lavkush Jogi. I have completed MSc in Agriculture, Seed Science and Technology, Specialization Seed Science and Technology from HNB Central University, Srinagar, Uttarakhand in 2020. I have got 52 rank in PhD program Seed Science and Technology from Indian Council of Agricultural Research ICR All India Entrance Examination for admission in 2021. Today I am going to tell about the topic seed production of cereal crops, millet, Bajra. Open pollinated varieties. Land requirements. Land to be used for seed production millet. Open pollinated varieties should be free of volunteer plants. The selected fields should be well drained and the soil well aerated. Isolation requirements. Bajra is considered to be a predominantly cross-pollinated crop. The extent of cross-pollination is about 80%. For pure seed production, seed fields must be isolated by 400 meters and 200 meters for foundation seed class and certified seed class, respectively, from other varieties, and the some variety not conforming to varietal purity requirements of seed certification. Brief cultural practices. First, preparation of land, ploughing of field at least once during the summer and one to ploughing immediately after the first two rains in July should be good enough to provide a good tilth. The land should be well leveled for effective drainage. Second, time of sowing. Kharif second fortnight of July, Rabi mid-October to mid-December, southern state. 3. Source of seed. Obtain nucleus or weeder out foundation seed from source approved by the certification agency. For method of sowing, a direct sowing, it is advisable to sow the crop in the lines 50 cm apart with the help of desi plow at the moisture zone. The seeds should be covered with about 3 cm soils. B. Transplanting. This method is most ideal in areas of adequate moisture, especially when there is late onset of monsoon and timely sowing become difficult. The seed is sown in the raised nursery and the healthy disease from seedling are transplanted after 15 to 21 days on any rainy day. The transplanting should be not delayed beyond 22 days due to difficulties in establishing the seedlings. In case the leaf growth is asexual, the leaves should be clipped to ensure better establishment of seedlings. 5. Seed rate. Direct seeding 3.5 kg to 5 kg per hectare, transplanting 1.5 kg per hectare. 6. Thinning. After about fortnight, preferably on the rainy day, the plants should be adjusted at 10 cm apart to rows and gaps filled through transplanting. Maintenance of adequate plants is essential for obtaining higher seed yields. 7. Fertilization. The extract fertilizer requirements could be determined on the basis of soil test values. However, 50 kg each of nitrogen, phosphorus and potash may be given as a basal dose. The basal dose of nitrogen should be however to be minimum for field where moisture is limited. The remaining dose of nitrogen can be given later on any rainy day. Another dose of 50 kg nitrogen may be top dressed into equal installments. In first after 25-30 days and the second after 40 to 45 days. At irrigation and drainage, irrigate the crop as and when needed. If rains are not adequate, 1 to 2 irrigation are needed. Adequate moisture must be ensured at layering and flowering, both being critical stage. Do not allow the leaves to wilt. Pearl millet is susceptible to waterlogging, particularly in the early stages. Thus, the proper drainage in the field is also very important. Interculture 9. The soil between the rows should be loosened from time to time by harrowing for good erosions of root. The interculture should be apart 20 days after sowing and followed successively 10 to 12 days thereafter. 10. Weed control. The pre-emergence application of propagine or atrazine 1 kg coupled with one hand weeding has proved to very effective for control of weeds. The weed side should be spread immediately after sowing for forestall any weed effective on germination. This will keep check on weeds for about 20 days. 11. Insect and disease control. Insect control. The following schedule is recommended. A. Planting if the field is effective with white ants and other soil insect. A soil application of BSC 10% dust should be given at 20 to 25 kg per hectare. B. Planting time. White grub is a serious pest in some areas of Rajasthan and Gujarat. Shoot fly and also serious pest of Bajra. The crop can be protected from both the pest by the application for 10% forate granules of 5% disulfoton thiodimetone at 25 and 50 kg per hectare respectively at the time of sowing. In the seed farrow, the seed rate of application is achieved by applying thymate forate granules are 1.5 gram per meter row or disulfoton at 3 gram per meter row in the seed farrow. In forate, disulfoton are not available. Some control can be obtained by spread the crop in the early stage with 2 kg carvel 50% WP and 500 liter of water per hectare. The crop should be spread with the first spray 3 or 4 days after germination and second 7 days after the first spray. Addition of wetting agent in the spray may give better results. For infestations, add the later stage spray in the carvel 50% at 3 kg in 600 liter of water per hectare. C. During growth period, the red hair caterpillar should be controlled by in the early stage by applying 10% BSC dust at 15 to 20 kg per hectare or 1.25 liter thiodine 35 kg EC 600 to 800 liter of water per hectare. Leaf feeding insects such as leaf roller, grasshopper and army worms can be controlled with BSC 10% dust at 20 kg hectare 20 kg per hectare. For sucking insects such as aphid, zacid, use dimethoate 30% EC at 250 cc in 500 liter of water per hectare. D. Flowering and grain formation stage. Ear heads of Bajra are generally attacked by mite and blister beetles. In many areas, spray the crop with carvel 50% WP 3 kg per hectare in 600 liter of water or dust with 2% malathion using 15 kg dust per hectare. Disease control. A. The seed is usually treated with thiram to protect germinating seed from fungal disease. Based on recent recommendations, it is suggested that Bajra should be invariably to be treated with aggression GN in the ratio of 1:400 at the time of planting. As a measure of protection for smut in Bajra crop is attacked by rust in certain areas, spray Zinef 50% WP at 1 kg per hectare in 800 to 900 liter of water by foot sprayer. B. Recommended precautions to prevent the spread of green ear disease. First, in order to prevent secondary infections, spray the crop with Zinef at 1200 per hectare at 100 to 900 liter of water. If you use a foot sprayer and 220 liter in the case of powder sprayer, repeat. If the cloudy weather continues after 10 days, this treatment controls leaf spot disease also. 2. At the time of harvest, cut all the infected plants after the removal of healthy ears and set fire to them. Do not incorporate them into the compost pit or feed them to cattle. The spores are not destroyed unless the infected stalks are burnt. 3. Do not grow Bajra in the infected fields. Rogging out of type plants and volunteers before they begin to shed pollen. The rogue plants must be cut from in bottom or pulled out the prevalent regrowth. The off types are readily distinguishable on the basis of plant characteristics, namely stem sap with juiciness, hairness, and anthocyanin, colorations of nodes and leaves, plant height, peduncles, and other pedicle characteristics. Also, rogue out plants affected by green ear ergot or greenish mold. Harvesting the seed crop should be harvested when fully ripe. The harvested seeds should be sorted out the removed diseased or otherwise undesirable heads from the pills and dried and threshing floor for a week or so before threshing. Threshing can be done. The thresher seeds should be dried to 10% moisture content before storage. Seed yield 15 to 20 quintal per hectare. Production of hybrid seed. The hybrid Bajra is produced by utilizing cytoplasmic genetic malleability in the manner similar to jowar. The various steps involved in production are: first, maintenance of parental line, namely male line, line maintainer line, and restorer line. Second, production of hybrid Bajra seed. The maintenance of parental line is referred to as foundation seed production, and the hybrid seed production is referred to as certified seed production. Maintenance of male line. Principle of maintenance: the male line A used for Bajra seed production carries male sterility due to cytoplasmic genetic factors. It is maintained by the crossing with male fertile non-pollen restoring strain line B, which is a sister strain of line A in a isolated plot. Line B is entirely similar to line A, except that it is pollen fertile. In a crossing field, the usual planting ratio line A and line B is 4:2. In addition, at border rows are planted with a seed of line V all around the field. The seed harvested from line A is Millet line and is used for hybrid seed production. The production techniques is described below. Land requirements: land to be used for seed production shall be free of volunteer plants. Isolation requirements: the male line increases plots of Bajra should be isolated from other Bajra fields or fields of the same line increases not conforming to varietal purity requirements of certification at least by 1000 meter differential blooming dates to modify isolation distance are not permitted. Free cultural practices: the most of the cultural practices are the same of described for open pollinated varieties except the following described below. Method of sowing: a planting ratio. The recommended planting ratio is 2 male row for every 4 female row. The 2:4 ratio can be achieved with mechanical equipment to an advantage by planting the seed row or tracking the tractor back over the male row. Without planting, this marks the row for the male seed parent. Planting is continued until the field is completed, then the male can be planted in rows that have been skipped. Mark all male row with flags, tag pegs or market plants, namely sun hemp, denture. This reduces the chance of error in delayed plantings. The border rows: at border row must be provided on all sides of the field as required in the certification standards. C. Method of planting: as a definite species is entailed between the border row or regular planting to separate the two plantings distinctly. A seed drill may be used to and calibrated for Bajra seed. Hand sowing or dabbling is quite affecting, but this is case should be not be sown deeper than 2.5 to 3.5 centimeter. Transplanting is also feasible and seed can be economized considerably. Different method of sowing: A. Continuous sowing. Seeds should be sown about 2.5 centimeter in depth in the pressed down firmly. Later, when plants are in second or third leaf stage, thin the to a distance of 20 to 22.5 centimeter. Row to row distance at 75 centimeter is maintained. To dabbling, double 3 to 4 seed are 20 to 22.5 centimeter. Travel in 75 centimeter row. Later thin to 1 or 2 seedlings per hills. C. Transplanting: one plant transplanted at 20 to 22.5 interval in 50 to 75 row is recommended. A transplanted crop will be usually performed as well as direct sowings. Besides making it easier to regulate stands, transplanting may be used under the following circumstances: First, shortage of seed and when maximum hazard increase is desired. Second, when the field is occupied by previous crop, a saving on time up to 1 month is thus possible. Third, in raising an off-season crop involving sowing in the cool weather and with greater pest problems, nurseries can be sown in a glass house or under plastic to increase soil temperature during emergence. Management of nursery. Nurseries may be sown in the flats nursery bed or vegetable type of beds. Seed may be sown thickly in close row about 15 cm apart. The flats usually are row spacing of 7.5 cm is adopted. The growing medium should be particularly coarse such as fine sand so as to permit easy removal and reduce injury to roots during transplantation. Soil temperature above 25 degrees Celsius is considered desirable for maximum germination and rapid yearly growth. If nurseries are sowing outdoors during cold weather in a windbreak and covering with plastic during the early and late period of the day and the night may be helpful in increasing and maintaining higher soil temperatures. Nursery medium nurseries have been successfully sowing in the following medium. First, fine sand 4 parts. Second, pulverized loam 2 parts. Third, ammonium sulfate 450 grams per 7.5 to 10 square meters. 4, sulfur phosphate 450 grams per 7.5 to 10 square meter. 5, thymate is required 50 gram per 7.5 to 10 square meters. The ingredients are finally pulverized and thoroughly mixed together. If flat beds are used at 7.5 to 10 cm, layer of soil should be adequate unless it is planned to grow the seedlings for a longer period before transplanting. No. Sowing is recommended in the nursery and should be not exceed 1.5 cm in depth since water may be applied as frequently as necessary. Area required. It is estimated that only 625 gram seed are required to sow 1 hectare by transplanting. This assumes row spacing of 90 centimeter and 22.5 centimeter between plants. This quantity of seed can be sown in beds with a total area of 25 to 37.5 square meter. Second hand case wooden crates 12.5 multiply 45 multiply 60 centimeter have been very successfully used as flats. Transplanting may be accomplished successfully from 10 to 25 days after sowing under favorable growing conditions and the encourages tillering. Transplanting should be not delayed. Plant height should be probably not exceed 10 to 15 centimeter at the time of carrying out this operation. Transplant should be carefully removed from the nursery, kept under moist cloth or other medium placed directly in a moist furrow and carefully covered. Transplants should be sown soon after removal from the nursery and must not be permitted to dry out. If the soil has not been previously irrigated, it should be watered immediately and at frequent intervals for a few days until the plants take root. Seed rate per hectares. Female parents, male parents. Line A, female parents. Direct seeding 1.50 1.5 kg. Male parent line V 0.75 kg. Transplanted 400 to 625 grams. Male female parents. Male parents 200 to 300 grams. Rogging. Rogging is very important for high quality seed production, and it is the duty of the grower to see that the job is done thoroughly and efficiently. The following points should be kept in mind during rogging. First, rogging should be started before flowering. This is to avoid contaminations from foreign pollens. Second, all rogging and volunteer must be cut from the ground level or pulled out to prevent regrowth. Third, remove off ties both from seed parent and pollinators row. These may be out crosses which become noticeable because of their greater height. They may be mechanical mixers or they may be volunteers. 4. At flowering, rogging should be done to remove pollen shading this type in the seed row. The sterile type having only the stigma or few served anthers extracted. Normal fertile plants will have plumb anther which are full of pollen out to the tips of both the lobes. On seedings, they rupture longitudinally along one side and discharge pollen. The seed parent should be rogued at least once a day while the heads are emerging and are becoming receptive to pollen. This is the time when the fertile heads will appear. The whole plant should be removed. If pulling the plant is too difficult, cut it off below the surface of the ground. One person should be take not more than 2 rows at a time, and each head should be observed. 5. All plants out of place, that is plants in between the lines are male plants in female row and vice versa must also be removed. Special attention should be given to the ends of row. 6. In addition to removing of types and volunteer from within the isolation distance, these sources of undesirable pollen must be also be eliminated before pollen is shed. 7. The field should be also be rogued thoroughly before harvesting, but after seed has been matured to the stage that the tube plant and seed character are apparent in condition rogue out diseased plant affected by green ear or gut and a grain spot. Harvesting. A maturity harvest male row first and keep their heads separate. This is necessary to avoid mixture at least at a later stage. After this, the female rows should be harvested. After harvesting, sort out the undesirable head and reject them. The remaining should be dried, threshed and cleaned before storage. Seeded 3 to 4 quintal per hectare. Maintenance of maintainer line B line and restore line R line. The seeds of these line is produced in a isolated fields. The land of requirements, isolation requirements, cultural operation, rogging techniques, etc. are similar to those described for the maintenance of male line with the only difference that in the present case only one parent is there to handle, in contrast with two parents required for the maintenance of male sterile lines. Production of hybrid Bajra seed. Principles of production. The seed of hybrid Bajra is produced by crossing male sterile line A with a specified restore line R in an isolated field. This is the hybrid seed that is sold to farmer. The silent features of production are as follow. Land requirements. Land requirements are same as described earlier. Isolation requirements. Hybrid Bajra seed fields should be isolated at least by 200 meter from field or other varieties and from field of the same variety not conforming to varietal purity requirements for certification, and 5 meter from fields having common male parent and conforming to varietal purity requirements of certification. Differential blooming dates are not permitted for modifying isolation distance. Brief cultural practices. The cultural practices are the same as described earlier for the maintenance of male line of Bajra. However, synchronizations of male and female parents in seed field is essential for good seed set. This is discussed here to elaborate experiences gained so far. Synchronizations of male line R and female line A parents. Where difference in flowering size is observed, the sowing of male and female parents can be suitably adjusted. A moderate variation of blooming period, however, may not cause serious difficulties, as the pollinator parent generally has a tendency to develop secondary nodal tillers, which shed pollen over a long period. Further, the flowering in the early parent can be delayed by a week or so by jerking the ear heads in the first stage. This is may be continued till the other parents start bloating. The parent which runs so slow emergence can be top dressed by a light urea sugar solution which enhance initiations of early flowering. Rogu harvesting and threshing. The techniques are similar to those described earlier in the maintenance of male line of Bajra. Other millets. Land requirements. Land to be used for seed production cell free of volunteer plants. Isolation requirements. Self-pollination is the general rule in all these species. The extent of natural cross pollinations is rather negligible, hence a minimum isolation of 3 meters all around of seed fields to separate it from field of other varieties and field of the same variety not conforming to varietal purity requirements for certification is considered sufficient for pure seed production. Source of seed obtained. Nucleus or breeder or foundation seed from a source approved by the certification agency. Common millet. Cultural practices. Only limited land operation is done. 1 to 2 plogings or desi plow or harrowing followed by leveling are sufficient. The kharif crop is sown at the onset of Monsoons from last week of June the mid-July to mid-July in Tamil Nadu and Gujarat. The irrigated crop is sown in March-April. The seed crop should be sown in row 20 to 25 centimeter apart. The depth of seedlings should not exceed 3 to 4 centimeter. 8 to 10 kg seed are sufficient. For 1 hectare, the seeds may be treated with a mercurial fungicide. If not already treated, the seed crop should be matched for obtaining higher seed yields. 60 kg nitrogen, 40 kg phosphorus and 20 kg potash may be applied. The rainy season's crop does not need irrigation. In case of prolonged drought, the seed corn, however, may be irrigated. The crop is very sensitive to waterlogging. For control of white ants, apply 5% aldrin or heptachlor dust in the soil at 15 kg per hectare at the time of planting. For control of stem borer spray the crop with 500 to 600 liter of 0.03% aldrin, 20% active ingredient. For control of downy mildew, spray the crop with 0.2% solution of Gineb or Mineb. And for control of smut, use seeds treated with a organomercurial fungicide. Rogging off-type plants at the time of flowering and at maturity. The smutted plants should also be removed before harvesting the crop. Harvesting and threshing: harvest to crop when seed are upper part of panicle are ripe and the plants still green to avoid losses from seed setting. The plants may either be uprooted, or cut close to the ground and threshed immediately. Seeded 10 to 20 quintal from irrigated crop under good management conditions. Finger millets. Cultural practices: the field is prepared by 1 deep plowing and 2-3 harrowings followed by leveling. The kharif crop can be sown in the time after the onset of monsoon up to August. In southern India, off grounds as an irrigated crop sowing can be done throughout the year. The seed crop is sown in the row 25-30 centimeter apart. The depth of seeding should be not more than 3%. 10 to 15 kg seed are sufficient to plant 1 hectare. The seeds may be treated with an organomercurial fungicide. If not already treated, the seed crop should be manured. Apply 50 to 60 kg nitrogen, 30-40 kg phosphorus and 30 kg potash per hectare. The rainy season crop does not need irrigation. In case of prolonged drought, the seed crop, however, may be irrigated. The crop is very sensitive to waterlogging and hence the water should not be allowed to stagnate in the field. The seed crop must be kept from weeds. 1 to 2 weeding therefore may be necessary. For control of black hairy caterpillar, Ludson caterpillar dust the crop with 10% BSC dust. For ragi root aphid, mix 10% BSC dust in soil near to base of plants, and the for ragi acid spray the crop with 0.03% phosphomidone or 0.04 per centimeter digenone or dimethoate solution for control of blast spray dithen Z78 TVs of Thyres at 2 kg hectare at an interval of 10 days. Rogue of types plants at flowering and maturity stage, harvesting and threshing the crop is cut close that to the ground and loose sheaves laid on ground to dry for several days. Then tied and placed in small stacks to dry until dewy seasons is covered and ears and removed from the stacked seed. In the case of irrigated crops, the ears may also be gathered as the mature heaped for a few days to cur and then threshed. Seed is threshed with sticks. If threshed with thresher, care is necessary to avoid cracking of seed. Seed separates easily from the straw. Seeded the rain-fed crop give 10 to 15 quintal per hectare, and the irrigated crop under good management condition may give yields up to 40 quintal per hectare. Italian millet cultural practices. The field is prepared by giving 2-3 harrowings followed by leveling. The kharif crop is sown in June-July. In irrigated areas, the crop can be sown in the months of February to March. Also, it can be grown throughout the year of southern India. The seed crop is sown in row at 25-30 centimeter apart. The depth of seedlings should be not more than 3 centimeter. 8 to 10 kg seed is sufficient for sowing 1 hectare. Apply 50 to 60 kg nitrogen, 30 to 40 kg phosphorus and 20 to 30 kg potash per hectare. The rainy season crop does not need irrigation. The seed crop may be however be irrigated in case of prolonged drought. The irrigated crops should be given irrigation at an interval of 10 to 15 days. The drainage of the field should be good and the water should be not be allowed to stagnate in the field. Seed crop should be kept from weeds. 1 to 2 dividings therefore may be necessary. There is no major insect problem in Italian millet. Insect, if noticed, may be controlled in the manner described for the cordo millet and jawar. For control of smut, use seed treated with a organomercurial fungicide. Rogue of type plant at the time of flowering and the maturity. Besides of type also remove plants affected by smut or green ear disease. Harvesting and threshing. The crop is harvested when the ears turn golden brown either by cutting the whole plant or the ear separately. Threshing is easy and is normally done with a store roller. Seed yield. The seed yield of the rain-fed crop range from 5 to 10 quintal per hectare, and of irrigated crop 10 to 16 per quintal hectare depending upon the management practices. Kodo millet cultural practices. Only limited land preparation is done. 1 to 2 harrowings followed by leveling is desirable for seed crops. The crop is normally sown in June, July in Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. It is sown in September, October. Also, seed crop is sown in row 25-30 centimeter apart. The depth of seedling should be not be more than 3 centimeter. 10 to 15 kg seed per hectare is sufficient. Seed crops should be measured at 60 kg nitrogen, 40 kg phosphorus and 20 kg potash per hectare. Thus, the rainy season crop does not need irrigation. In case of prolonged drought, 1-2 irrigations may however be given. The water should be not be allowed to stagnate in the field. The insect control is similar to that described for common millet. For control of smooth rate the seed by immersing then in 1.5% copper sulfate solution. Rogging same as described for common millet. Harvesting and threshing. The plants are cut close to the ground bundle and stacked for a week and threshing by trampling and cattle. Seed yield. The seed yield range from 8 to 16 quintal per hectare. Little millet. The cultural practices rogging, harvesting and seed yield are similar to barnyard millet. It can however withstand both the waterlogging and drought. Barnyard millet culture practices. The field is prepared by 1 to 2 ploughing or harrowings followed by leveling. To kharif crop is sown at the onset of monsoon and the rabi crop in October or November. The seed is sown in the row 20 to 25 centimeter apart. The depth of seedling should not be more than 3 centimeter. 8 to 10 kg seed are sufficient for sowing 1 hectare. The crop can also be raised as an transplanted crop. The seed crop should be measured 50 to 60 kg nitrogen, 30 to 40 kg phosphorus and 20 to 30 kg potash may be applied for crops raised under good management. The seed crop should be irrigated if there is a prolonged drought. The seed crop must be kept free of weed, hence 1 to 2 weedlings may be necessary. The insect pests and diseases can be controlled like common millet. Rogging same as described for common millet. Harvesting and threshing. Harvest and the crop when ripe. The plants are cut and stacked and the felled for a week before threshing. The threshability of grain is quite good. Seed yield. The seed yield varies from 10 to 15 quintal per hectare under good management conditions.